Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? Wonderful. I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Gatewood, Mr. Robert Gatewood. Some of you know him and some of you don't, but I guarantee that those of you who know him don't know some of the tidbits I'm about to share about him. He didn't give me this, nor did Miss Clay, but I found it. So I'll tell you what I found. So he grew up in a very unconventional sense of independence. He said, which was instilled in him by his parents. His father, who is deceased, was a sharecropping Baptist minister who was also his first employer. His mother was a loving homemaker. Now, his first employer, what I was intrigued with is that he ran the family business at the age of 8. Can you guys believe that? So you're looking at somebody with a wealth of experience sitting before you here. And at the age of 13, 5 years later, he entered the shoe shining business by starting his own shoe shining stand. And that propelled him so far. He does have an undergraduate degree in political science, and he declined an offer to go to law school. And at the age of 22, he went ahead and took a position as a buyer for a national grocery store chain at the age of 22. What was also very fascinating for me as I did some research on Mr. Gatewood is that he chose to bridge the gap between 4 small businesses. So he wants small businesses to shine. And this is how I believe that the marketing pulpit was born. So he started off doing, well, one of the things he did in his younger years was shoe shine, but now he's shining businesses. Yes, so his accomplishments to what that then includes, he does have a master's degree in business administration. He's a professional business developer, marketing consultant, and web strategist, producer and host of the Marketing Pulpit international radio show, which broadcasts on Radio 1, WOL 1450 in the DC area. You guys can tune into that. You can get information on that on his website. He is the president of Gatewood Marketing, a full-service advertising agency. He's also a technology consultant for the SBA, Small Business Administration. And he is an adjunct professor at Prince George's Community College. And as if that's not enough, he is an author of 2 books which you can find on Amazon. I looked them up. And I will be getting, Sid and I will be getting those 2 books, Smarter Than the Boss and Played in Full. They're only $13 and $12, so I encourage you guys to look it up, and if you're so inclined, get those books. He is the recipient of the UNCF, United Negro College Fund Civil Leaders Hall of Fame. He's sitting here very humbled, but I think that you are going to hear a dynamic presentation, which I'm sure all of us will benefit from. So I encourage you to sit in rapt attention, and let's hear it from Mr. Gatewood.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Who's that guy? Well, I haven't had an introduction that great since one time the person who was going to introduce me didn't show up, and I had to introduce myself. But I promise not to bore you with a long presentation today. I can do that very easily with a short one. So, we're going to get started. I once again want to thank everybody for coming out, and thank you, Sean, for that introduction before the introduction. I didn't know what he was going to say. I was getting nervous. I didn't do it. Let me, now if I have more bags under my eyes than normal, last night I was at Employ Prince George's. They have a program, a grant through Prince George's Community College, where they are actually offering free services to business owners to come out. And so I'm teaching some of the courses over there. So last night I taught a course over at Prince George's, Employ Prince George's over at the National Harbor, right at the they have a job center in the National Harbor Tangier outlet. So and then of course I did the show this morning. And you can actually catch the show by going to marketingpulpit.com. You can actually see the full show. We broadcast on Radio 1 95.9 FM. And it's also LinkedIn, and Twitter, and of course on the marketing pulpit. So what I'm going to deliver to you today is some information that I have compiled. I think it's very timely because we're living in a digital age. And many of us have been out here doing our thing, grinding, doing the marketing, and then this technology kind of sneaked up on us. It's like we saw it coming really from a long distance, and we said, well, one day it's going to get here. But it's actually here, and it's here to stay. So if we're going to survive in this as business owners, then we have to embrace digital technology and digital marketing. So let's get started here. Now, one thing that makes me a little different than some of the other presenters when it comes to marketing, I am a foundationalist. I don't believe in building a house on quicksand. And so when you're trying to build a business, you have to lay down the foundation. And the same thing applies to marketing. Many of us, nobody in this room, of course, many people chase the shiny objects. Every time something comes along, they change course, they jump on it. All right, this comes along, all right, ChatGPT, let's do that. Social media, let's do that. Well, if you don't have the marketing foundation, these things will not work, plain and simple. So that's why I approach all of my marketing subjects with a foundation in marketing. So I'm going to start out by telling you what marketing is, like you don't already know, right? But it comes down to identifying and satisfying the needs and wants of target audiences. Remember that word target as long as you live, as long as you're in business at least. Now I look at marketing as three-legged stool. And each one of these legs have a pivotal part of marketing and success. And you can take two of them, but if you take the third leg off of the stool, it's going to fall over. You can't stand. So if you're going to be advertising, you also have to embrace sales, and you have to embrace customer service, because each one of them have a separate function. Advertising communicates. Once you've identified who your audience is, your products, and so forth, you have to communicate that to your audience. Sales converts. Those people, no matter how good your ads are, if you can't convert them, you just wasted your money. And when they become a client, you have to retain them. Okay? Let's keep it moving. Now, some people say advertising and marketing are the same. Well, they are related. Marketing is identifying your needs and wants, creating your message, your brand, and so forth. But when it's time to advertise, it communicates that to the audience. So not all marketing is advertising, but all advertising is marketing. Remember this as long as you live. Everybody's not your customer. This used to be the biggest fight I'd have with my clients. Somebody coming to my door, Gatewood, I want to sell to everybody. I'm not going to discriminate, but when you sell to everybody, you sell to nobody. Just know that. You have to decide who your audience is. Now we do that by building a customer profile, and that consists of demographics, geographics, and then lifestyle. Lifestyle used to be kind of hard to ascertain because it's some pretty personal information. But now that information has become available thanks to digital marketing. Of course, demographics, that's age, income, family size, and so forth. Geographics is where you're located, or your distribution channel. And lifestyle gets into things like your political beliefs and so forth. Know who your audience is. Now, it's very important to understand the value of a customer. The marketing matrix, as I call them. How much does it cost to get a customer? If you don't know, it's worth taking a little time to figure it out. In simple terms, take the amount of money you spend on advertising and marketing, divide it by the number of customers you get. That's called your CPA, your cost per acquisition. Okay? So if you had $1,000, you spent $1,000 at Radio 1 or on Facebook, you got 10 customers, you got a CPA of $100. Now, let's just say you had a hair salon, you offered a service that cost $75. So you spent that $100. The first person came in the room spent $75. So you called Radio 1, Miss Kathy Hughes took your money, you bought $1,000 worth of advertising, you got 10 customers, you have a CPA of $100. So the first person comes in the room, they spend $75. Now many of us are saying, wait a minute, I just lost $25. Isn't that right? Isn't that the math? Didn't we just lose $25?
It depends.
Uh-oh. We got a smart head up there. Why haven't I lost $25?
Well, first of all, it depends on the type of business you're in.
Okay.
Secondly, it depends on the lifetime value of the customer.
Oh, he's been in one of my courses. You are exactly right. This is the next acronym I want everybody to understand. Don't be so quick to give up on your advertising and marketing efforts. It's a process. That person spent $75, but because I know we talk about the three-legged stool, that third leg is called customer service and retention. You have to retain that customer. If that person comes back once a month, you're already up to $900. If they tell two people, you're up to $2,700 on a $100 investment. Know your numbers. If you've been to Shark Tank and you hear Mr. Wonderful and Mark Cuban and Gatewood MBA.
And one thing with that, with knowing your numbers, depending on what it is that you are selling, you have to know your average cost per customer.
That's exactly right.
Because in most cases, people don't think about that either, you know.
Know your numbers. You watch Shark Tank, that's the first thing they ask you. What are your numbers? What's your cost per customer? What's your lifetime value? And so forth. Now let's get more deeply into digital marketing. Digital marketing is the process of promoting products, services, or brands using digital technology such as social media, search engines, website, email, and mobile applications. What are the objectives of digital marketing? Pretty much the same objectives of regular marketing. Branding. That's what makes you unique. Okay? Customer nurturing. Everybody's not ready to order right away. You gotta pull them along. Upselling, cross-selling. That's something I've been talking to Sean over here about. I've kind of beaten his head for the last couple of years. Cross-selling and upselling. Once you get that customer, build yourself an ecosystem. Sell them everything you have, okay? And of course, customer acquisition is ultimately what you want to do. But there's some steps to get there. Yep. Digital marketing trends. My goodness. And that's one thing about digital marketing, unlike some other types of information, the trends change by the hour. I mean, it's really hard to keep up. Everybody's talking about AI right now, artificial intelligence. Talking about these chat boxes, specifically ChatGPT. That's a trend right now. No matter how you feel about it, you have to deal with it at some point. Either you're going to use it or somebody's using it against you. I look at AI the same way I looked at social media when it first hit. I don't push it, I don't advocate it, I don't say you have to have it, but you better understand it. Yeah. Either you're going to use it or somebody's going to use it against you. Video, short video. I don't know if you all use your cameras, your cell phones, or whatever. You better get used to short video. It's here to stay. Now I'm going to break this down a little further. Now, even though, like I said, I'm not pushing AI, these are some of the things that small companies can, the ones who have discovered it, that you can start using right now. 24-hour customer support, creating content for your website, your blog, your social media posts, and so forth. Generating ideas and outlines for campaigns and projects. Composing emails in various languages. Even if you're doing hiring, you can create interview questions for the people you're trying to, for the applicants. These are some applications right now. You don't have to get to the deep stuff about, solving the world, cancer and all this kind of stuff. There are some simple things that AI you can start using it right now, but like everything else, understand how it works. I'm not going to give you a ChatGPT course today. Once again, I'm just enlightening you to some of the things that are going on right now in social media. Short video, once again, is one of the hottest trends right now. Hate to break it to you, but nobody wants to see your 2-hour video. I don't want to see my own 2-hour video. It was non-starter. Now, if you're saying something that people want to really see or hear, then they will listen to a 10-hour video. But the average person's got to know what it's about first. So that's why we've been introduced to things like stories and reels and shorts and clips. used to that, okay? If you have a video on YouTube right now, 2 hours, man, you have a prize. You can live off that for a year. Take you some time one day, get you a cold one, flip through there, and start contextualizing, and we'll talk about context in a second. We're going to quickly talk about the 5 major types of digital marketing. And I'm not going to get too deep because I can't make you a digital marketing specialist in a half hour, but my job today is to introduce you to these tools, let you know that they exist, and you can still do your own research. And I do offer a consultation, a 15-minute free consultation to anybody that wants a little more information. You can go to my website, Gatewood Marketing, and we do have a free consultation. So I'll be glad. Believe me, folks, I'm not here trying to sell you anything today. I'm making that clear up front. My plate is full. I'm not even looking for clients. I'm doing this as part of my mission of giving back and helping small businesses grow and creating jobs and opportunities in our community. So don't think I'm trying to sell you something. Even when I offer you the free consultation, some of you have already taken advantage of it. I didn't sell you one thing because I was trying to. I didn't want to. Now, if you drop, everything is relative though, right? That check is big enough. It goes out the window. We're going to talk about these different digital marketing types. Search engine optimization, SEO. Now, when you think of SEO, most people think of Google right away because Google is the big gallon block. If you're not making Google happy, this goes out the window. I'm sure there's Bing and the others out there. They're cool. But SEO is about search engine, is about optimizing your website or any type of digital presence you have online so that the search engines can find it. The only thing I'm going to throw in here, just because this is quite a bit, but keep in mind long tail keywords. Now, if you want to sell food, if you want to just use the keyword food, you're competing with food places all over the world. People in China, Uzbekistan, and so forth. You're going to waste your effort, and you're buying media, you're going to spend more than you need to spend. Long tail means you chop it down. You might say, Chinese food in Maryland. That's going to make Google come more to you than if you just put in these short keywords. So keep long tail that's going to be your takeaway from search engine optimization. Make sure you have long tail keywords, and also make sure your website doesn't load too slowly. That's another problem. Google hates that. Okay? Pay-per-click advertising. Now, if you've ever done any media buying on Google, like the Google AdWords and so forth, you're doing pay-per-click advertising. Pay-per-click is a variable form of advertising. In other words, you only pay for what you receive. Now, if you're going over to Radio 1 to buy advertising, you're doing what is called flat rate advertising. You give them $1,000, they run you for a month. When you get one customer or a million, your price is the same. Pay-per-click is variable rate. That means you pay based on what you get. If they don't click on your ad, you don't pay. Okay? So when you're doing your media buying, keep in mind what your objectives are. So pay-per-click. So if you're looking for pay-per-click, you go to somebody's website, there may be a banner ad over there. You go into social media, you may see it in the feed. These are used as pay-per-click advertising. It's very expensive. Email marketing. Email did not go away like many people thought it would. Email has come roaring back because people get a little nervous about social media. They don't know who's who and what's real and what's not. But email marketing is something that we can control. It's ours. It's usually our customer base, our prospect base, and we can actually have a little more control, and the quality is higher than some of the other means of lists that may be out here. You can do things like timed email, you can send out newsletters and so forth, and it's great for targeting on certain campaigns. So if you have like a MailChimp account, AWeber, Constant Contact, iContact, you need an email marketing platform. I got an email the other day from somebody, and they had like 100 people in the CC. I'm like, oh Lord have mercy. Don't do that, okay? That's a no-no. That's going to get you banned.
Yeah, they shut you down. Google's
not going to bounce all your emails back. I'm surprised that people still don't know this. If you're in the room, sorry if I'm stepping on your toes, but you must use these platforms whether you like them or not. AWeber, iContact, MailChimp, because they have They use their own servers. They're not using your IP address. Google will ban your IP address and label you a spammer, and you say, wait, why nobody's getting my mail? Because you sent out one of those emails of 100 CCs, and they blacklisted you. That's an FYI. Content marketing, another form of digital marketing. Content marketing falls under what we call communication indirect advertising. You have direct advertising, you have indirect. Indirect means you're giving out information, you're giving away something with the hopes that somewhere down the road this person's gonna feel good about you and then they buy something eventually. Content marketing, blogs, podcasts, even emails, informational videos, that's called content marketing. So many of you are doing these things already. You may not know what it's called. I'm just giving you a fancy name to apply to it now. But you're probably doing some of this. What you want to do, hopefully as a result of today, you start to organize it and put it into some type of program or process.
Because Robert, wouldn't newsletters fall under that?
Newsletter, absolutely. That's called content marketing as well. And last but not least, social media marketing. That's the digital marketing that most of us can relate to right off the bat. There's about 8 billion people in the world, about 5 billion of them use social media on a regular basis. No matter how you feel about it, that's an audience that's too big to ignore. 3 billion on Facebook alone, 2.6 on YouTube, 2 billion on Instagram, and a billion, and TikTok is creeping up. They have a billion. So you have to get into that, you have to acknowledge that it exists. It's not going away, okay? Let's see here. Now, when we're in the social media world, a term you get familiar with, it's called listening. When we think of listening, normally we mean somebody saying something verbally out of their mouth. But in the social media world, listening means paying attention. You will not be effective in social media or any type of digital marketing if you are not listening or aware of what's going on. So you have to get into this routine as part of your daily marketing strategy is to listen, to be in tune with what's happening. Engagement follows listening. How would you know how to engage in social media if you don't know what's happening? You can't, not effectively. That's why the first order of business is to listen, to pay attention. What is going on? What's going on politically? What's going on technologically? What's going on in retail? What's going on in entertainment, sports? You cannot actively and effectively engage if you don't listen. And once you listen, you can jump into the conversation. You can like, you can post, you can share. Okay? Now, when it comes to posting, when we talk about posting, we talk about organic social media versus paid.
Yeah.
Some people, these are some experts, they said on something like on Facebook, posting maybe once a day is ideal. If you're doing stories, you might do 3 or so. But you don't want to do more than, you don't want to overdo it. People are going to tune you out, okay? So this is a little, you can use this as a guide of when and how much you should post. Posting frequency. And I'm moving a little fast, so forgive me, it's a lot of information, but it's all important. I went through this thing 3 times and skimmed it down, trying to get it down to a half hour. So hopefully I'm on target here. Content, they said, and it's true, content is king, particularly in digital markets. Organic content is where most of us were introduced to social media. You posting something, you type in, I'm going to the ball game, I'm at IHOP, all you can eat meal. That's not how you want to use social media, believe it, but that's how many of us were introduced to it. That is actually called organic content. Now, if we get into our business realm, organic content may be talking about an event that is happening. It may be about you have a new product. It may be just hiring somebody. That's organic content, meaning you created it internally. It's your content. Now, to get some type of return on organic content is a long, slow road. You can be posting all night long. Nobody's gonna be ringing the phone, I'm just gonna tell you. Somebody knows what I'm talking about, somebody's done it. So they said if I sit here and post all day, things gonna happen. It didn't happen. Because one, you probably use this word called context, we're gonna talk about in a minute. Now most of the content that's gonna get you some action or some result is actually paid. I hate to bust your bubble. You probably have to spend some money. You have to boost something, you have to create an ad, but you're not gonna get there, I'm telling you, this is somebody who's been doing this for a long time. You're not gonna get there with organic content. Now, organic content serves a different purpose. It's that, it goes back to that indirect communication type of advertising. It's great for nurturing, it's great for branding, but if you want a quick turnaround sale, you're gonna have to spend some money. Yeah, like it is. Don't get mad at the message. Let's talk about context for a minute. Let's say right now, if all of a sudden we had a drought outside, water is hard to get. And if I'm in the water business, man, this is like getting a lot of it to me. I've got all the water in the world. I've been stockpiling water. This is how we use context in our marketing and our social media. An event happens, and it's trending. There's a sizable number of people that are affected by it. Do you have some content that can tap into that event? Sometimes you have to create it, but I bet you most of you all already have it. That's why we're going to talk about repurposing content that you have. You don't have to keep creating content around the clock. That 2-hour video I told you nobody's going to watch, they will watch that 15 seconds if you apply context to it. So sometimes you need to get off social media, get off the camera, and start going through the content that you already have. Hashtags. Hashtags is similar to keywords. So if you're posting anything like on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, put in a hashtag, you will come up in the searches. Because otherwise, only folks that know you or know they know somebody is going to see this post. So hashtag, it increases the audience. So if we're talking about that same drought, you hashtag drought, you hashtag your company, you hashtag some of the benefits of water, what might happen if you don't drink water, you dehydrate. Put those hashtags on your post, and it's going to reach a larger audience. How am I doing on time, that Shirley?
About 10 minutes.
Okay, good. Perfect. Okay. Live video. Once again, this is great content. For instance, if you're on Instagram, if you turn on your camera right now and start doing a live post, the folks in your following crowd will see a little button come up on their Instagram account. So live video, besides being great content, is another way to put yourself in front of people on a regular basis. Repurposing your old content. You ever gone to a concert and the band gets up there and say, we're gonna start with some of our new material. You might ready to walk out the door, right? We have cut this new album last week. Wait a minute, what about that song that I love? I want to hear the Jackson 5 saying I want you back. Okay, not your new song. Same thing when it comes to your content. Don't keep creating all this new content when you, matter of fact, I'm trying to think, it was Facebook or somebody. I think it was Facebook. They sent out a memo. They always tell me something. We just don't read this stuff. They're starting to favor the old content. Right. Because it helps them. They're trying to sell ads. So if you put out a piece out there and it got 100,000 views, Facebook wants to see that again. And they're gonna put you high up on the ranking when you do it again. You come out there with your new stuff, you say, wait a minute, why I posted these two items, they look the same. One was the old one that has already proven itself, that's the one Facebook's gonna grab.
Guardians of the Galaxy playing music from the 70s and the 80s.
That's right.
To bring out old people to see Marvel movies.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. The same thing applies to digital marketing.
But how do you take old content and repurpose it if you're trying to stay in connection with the context of what's happening today?
You could do a clip. Let's say you have a video on YouTube. And the clip may have been talking about all the reasons, all the things that are healthy for you. But one of those points happen to be stay hydrated. You go and open up your YouTube account, go into that video and create a 1-minute clip. Then you share that clip to your Facebook account, your LinkedIn account, you put it on your Instagram
It will
account.
count as like old content, like
Exactly.
in the Facebook example, that would count as like previous successful content that's been repurposed, that's still relevant, that'll still push you higher.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. You have this content, and that's what I'm saying, this could be your homework assignment. Go back and find, this is what I do, when I do my show every week, it's only a half-hour show. But as great as I think I am, most people don't want to look at the whole show. So I go after each show, I pull out about a piece every day. And I try to think about what are people talking about. Did I say something in this show that's trending, that's more relevant than something else? And I will create a 15-second or 30-second clip and repurpose it through a clip or reel or short.
I have a question about using hashtags.
Mhm.
Say you have some saved hashtags and you just copy and paste to make it easier. Does that help or does that hurt? Like if you're trying to promote something related to business and you have all these hashtags and you already
Of
have
course.
saved. How
Of course.
does that work? Because it seems to save time, but it's sometimes better to use something that is really relevant to that.
If they're still relevant.
Okay.
Now, if you have like let's say you have 30 hashtags, you might go through and pull out the irrelevant ones. But if 15 of those are still relevant, that's still gonna save you some time. I copy and paste all the time. That's what I do it. I do a lot of copying and pasting in my ad creation. Any other questions? I know there's a lot of information.
How do you account for the algorithms? Because I feel like the algorithms on a lot of platforms are consistently changing, and I feel like sometimes what worked today doesn't work next week. And like, prime example, yesterday I did 2 posts on LinkedIn. One was like, hey, I'm attending this seminar, it's great, it's a summit, it's about future of work, and AI is wonderful. And then and that got a fair amount of visibility, right? Likes and comments, whatever. And then later that afternoon, context, hey, based on what I read and listened to in this summit earlier today, hey, now here's an article, here's my latest blog post, that's talking about AI and future of work and this and that. Crickets. So how do you really account for the timing and that algorithm?
What you have to do, and like I said, it could be an hour course. Facebook and all of these platforms have what is called a relevancy score. And it's about 10, it's like the secret sauce on McDonald's and a Big Mac. It's actually out there, but they don't put it on the home because it's boring to people. They don't care really whether your thing moves up or down. As long as they're getting paid, they get eyeballs.
Yeah.
That's what's important to them. So you have to take it upon yourself to understand what their relevancy score is, how much inventory they have, the context, the season, the topic, how often, the size of the media buy. So all of these things are factored into the relevancy score. And that's what I discovered when I was doing Facebook advertising, is that relevancy score, like you said, you can run the almost exact same ad. Sometimes it's the timing. And I know I'm gonna have to keep moving, but good question. All right, we're getting to the end here. Like I say, I'm gonna kind of skip through some of these, and I got a special for you. I will provide this handout to anyone. I'm gonna have my contact information at the end of the presentation. And you can actually send me an email. I'll send you this presentation. Because I may not get through everything. I'm gonna kind of go fast forward quickly.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Let me tell you about some acronyms really fast. I call it Oh Say Can You See. These are acronyms that start with C. If you're going to be doing any type of media buying, digital buying, you need to know what these terms are. First one is CPM. That's cost per 1,000. Okay? On a Facebook ad, you're going to spend about $14 CPM. About $14 for 1,000 impressions. Okay? And you say, why M? Why not cost per T? Well, it's M, M-I-L-L-E is a Latin term for 1,000. So it's cost per million. CPC, cost per click, we talked about that earlier. CPA, cost per action. CTA, call to action. When you run an ad, make sure you have a call to action. And of course, CRM is customer relationship management. You need to know these terms if you're doing any type of digital marketing. I'm going to flip through some of these because I want to get to this couple of the important ones. For instance, if you're doing any type of advertising, you need to get ready, first of all. Your readiness strategy includes who is my audience, what's the objective, Am I trying to get people to my website? Am I trying to get people to sign up on the way, or buy right away? And then you wanna know, we call the low threshold lead magnet. The reason many of your ads are not working, you're asking for too much the first time you met this person. It's like, come on, can you date first before you jump in, you know? You wanna get to know the person. So what you do, instead of asking, I can't run an ad to look, give me a $3,000 retainer the first time I meet you, but what I can do is say, come out for a free consultation, or download my free brochure. Make that part of your marketing digital strategy. Have a lead magnet and a low threshold to get people to know you on a less expensive basis. Also, it's gonna help you if you don't send them to your busy homepage. You got like everything on there with the kitchen sink. So you got to send them to a direct page on your website or create a landing page. I'm telling you why some of your ads aren't working in digital marketing, because you're not following some of these basics. And of course, CRM, that's customer relationship, doing the follow-up. Put it in your MailChimp account. MailChimp is like a full man's version of CRM. They claim they're CRM now. They used to be an email marketing platform, but they're doing CRM work now. They're doing automatic emails and so forth. So they jumped on board. Here's a flow chart on how that works. I've also included in this package what you might see when you go to do some media buying. You're going to be buying media at some point if you're going to succeed in this business. This is what you might see when you get to one of these platforms. They're going to ask you basically the same question. Write a headline, the body of the ad, what's your objective, how much you're going to spend, what geographic area you're trying to reach. Get used to this form if you're going to be doing this type of buying. I've already told you, the organic stuff that's not going to get you there. Hate to break it to you that way, but it is what it is. Rinse and repeat. Find out what works and do it again. The analytics are there. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of them will tell you what's working. See that little yellow ball? That means that worked better than the one that's nothing there. You can repeat that one. That's one of those old favorites that got you the results last time. Why don't we just do that again? Do it again until it starts working. KPIs have been made. Going back and, now when you're doing advertising, everything's not gonna work. So what you wanna know is, am I going in the right direction? That's what KPIs tell you. And KPIs could be, how many impressions you got, how many likes you got, how many people shared it. If you're not getting those benchmarks, you're probably not gonna get the sale either. So KPIs are important to watch the KPIs to make sure you're trending in the right direction. Otherwise, you're just wasting time. All right, this is the last thing. I get 3 more minutes. I'm done. Okay, I'm done. 3 minutes. And this is the last thing. You need to know that every ad is not the same. They have different objectives. I'm just tell you what they are, then we're gonna close it out. One ad could be to build your audience. That's your blog, your educational videos, and things like that. Another type of ad is to generate leads. That's where you use the lead magnet, gated content. Another type is the sales converter. You got them to lead. How do I get them to become a customer? Testimonials and things like that. And the fourth one is the customer upsell ad. They're already become a client. Now you want to get them to buy more, upgrade, and tell other people. So what we're going to do, here's your takeaways for today. I'm leaving you for 30 minutes. If you want to have 30 minutes a day to do this, here's a plan on how you can spend that time. Also, I'm going to give you a free social media basic plan for a retail company. You can use this and apply it if you have these type of social media platforms. This is a tool that can help you put together a campaign. And this guy here, got to overtalk too long. You can contact me and I will send you a copy of this particular handout. And I'll be glad to do that by email. Anybody have any questions? What we're gonna do, you can save your questions while we're going around the room. And if you want to direct a question to me while you introduce yourself, we can do that for the sake of time. But I would like everybody to get a chance. And we do want to make it brief. Try to cut it, at least leave that about a minute. And we would like to hear from everybody in the room. Cherry, you want to take it from here. And thank you very much. Thank you very much.